When he appointed a Goldman executive as treasurer. Drain the what? All downhill from there. If you voted for Donald Trump in 2016 but won't in 2020, what changed your mind? What's up, my viewer? Hope you're having a chill-ass day, going through some stories. I'm glad you decided to join your boy Andrew for another story time. Since you're already here, can hit that like button and subscribe? If you don't, I'll tell your parents that you vape. Anyway, let's start these stories. 2016? Haha, how bad could he be? 2020? Real ducking bad. I was 24. I've grown. Matured. Found empathy for others. Honestly, I started to grow frustrated with the constant tweeting, lies and whataboutism. I also stopped watching Fox News. I'm not American, but my aunt and cousin both voted Trump because they were sick of crappy politicians running the scene. They thought that a businessman might be able to cut through the pig-crap tsunami that is American politics. They are very disappointed in how anti-science Trump is and claim they will not vote for him again. I voted for him in 2016. I cannot apologize enough to my fellow humans, all of them. Since my mistake, I've catalogued the consequences. This is only my Trump is a dick record. It doesn't touch on his environmental destruction, his industrial corruption, or his treason. I voted third party because I wanted to send a message with my vote. I had been thinking that my vote wouldn't matter, he didn't have a chance in hell, and even if he won, he wouldn't be able to get anything done because the GOP would have a spine and stand up against things that went against their mission statement or made them look bad. Mud on my face, there. 42 years old. I never voted for anybody because I grew up believing it didn't matter who got elected. They were all just different brand names for the same bullcrap. I will be voting this time because I see now that it can matter who's in that office. I did not vote for him in 2016. I was a registered Republican up until his nomination and then switched, but my dad did. My dad passed in August 2017, and in the months before his death, my dad and I had long talks about Trump. He said he had made a mistake voting for him. He realized that Trump was not the Christian he claimed to be and that he was not a good man. I think if my dad were still alive today, it would be the first election where he did not vote Republican. I didn't vote, but my dad did. He said that all presidents need to have a straight mind, strong and bold. Then when riots happened, he learned that Donald Trump wasn't the strong, bold leader he thought of. He hid in his bunker not because people were gonna raid the White House, he was just scared. He couldn't give a damn about the people asking for change. Instead of actually reforming corrupt police, he just hid. Walled of the White House so no one could go near it. I was barely 18 when I voted. I was still a senior in high school. I grew up in an extremely conservative town with opinionated parents and a lack of access to the outside world. I wasn't allowed on any social media. Then I went to college and met people of other races, creeds, sexualities, and I learned empathy. I regret my choice and I know that the Trump administration has caused a lot of pain and suffering for a lot of people. I am trying to do my part by educating myself and calling people out on their bullcrap whenever I'm in my hometown. Me in 2016? Better than Hillary. Me in 2020? Nope. She scared the living hell out of me. Now I feel as if I owe her an apology. Edit. Just so people understood my mindset, so I don't have to explain myself individually. Hillary has a machine that makes the Chicago machine look like Cub Scouts. Nobody would deny that. Trump is an idiot that bashed everyone in his party to get where he is. I felt like I was choosing between Satan and the Antichrist, and I wouldn't like either vote. However, I figured if Trump was sworn into office, or even before, if he won the election even, I figured both parties would say, look, you said some things and we said some things, let's agree to a do-over. Then I remembered we are Americans, and good, bad or indifferent, we own that crap. And the Republican Party fell in line. I haven't voted for a Republican since. I was an 18-year-old high school kid in the rural South. My family was always Southern Baptist and conservative. I wasn't really to the point where I held my own political beliefs, just basically took my family's beliefs as fact. I've grown up, I've changed, the world has changed even. 22-year-old me definitely wouldn't have voted for Trump in 2016, and I won't be voting for him this year either. While I still do hold many conservative beliefs still, I am far from the alt-right GOP voters who will be voting for Trump in 2020. I couldn't vote in 2016 because I didn't send a request for an absentee ballot soon enough, but I was going to vote for Trump because of his plans for the military. I was out processing from the army and wanted to make sure they would get what they'd need to win and survive in combat. But after seeing him handle COVID and claim he was not responsible for anything, that really pissed me the duck off. In the army, I learned as a leader you are responsible for everything your element does or fails to do, from the team leader right up to the chief of staff. The President of the United States is responsible for everything that happens in this country, whether they like it or not. I am not voting for Trump this coming election. Hello. I'm English and don't have a vote in this, and believe me, we have enough problems of our own over here, but I pay a lot of attention to American politics. It's in the news a lot here at the moment, just because of how bat-crap crazy Trump is. Anyway, I saw a headline the other day that said officials in China were secretly hoping Trump was going to get re-elected because he destabilizes the USA so much another 4 years of him will really help China become a more dominant superpower globally as he diminishes the state's power internationally. I just thought, Jesus, that is as big a damning indictment against a man as you could possibly get. He's everything that's wrong with the world today, I'll cross my fingers for you all for the election. Good luck. I got stuck voting for what I thought was the lesser of two evils, and honestly, I was very influenced by my father, if influenced is being threatened to get kicked out of the house if I voted for someone else. Don't get me wrong, I didn't like Clinton, and even now, I realize I don't like either candidate. I just want it to stop. I don't want a leader that will divide us more, and while I'm more centric in politics, I think we need someone to bring us together. I don't know for sure if Biden is the man for the job, but all I know is Trump isn't going to make America any more great. I don't agree 100% with Trump or Biden, and if there will ever be a candidate that will align perfectly with my views. But Trump had his time, and look at the country. We're divided, at each other's throats, fighting and rioting and trying to make change, while we have a president who is openly mocking everything. I just want peace. I don't know if Biden will bring it, but I know Trump won't. I'm so embarrassed to admit it. Hillary has just always been drilled into my brain as the epitome of limousine liberal establishment candidate, and I was livid with how Bernie got shafted, voted for Bernie in the primary. When election day came, I was coming from work at an auto shop. They were all pumped on Trump and I thought, worst case scenario, he ducks up and looks really dumb and hurts the GOP, right? It's not like the people around him would actually let him cause any real harm, right? I was really wrong. Edit. A ton of people are asking, I don't get it. How could you flip from Bernie to Trump? I was raised pretty conservative, and Clinton was like a swear word in my house. I was raised Mormon, so sex scandals are just about the worst thing a president could do, back then at least. I left the house in 2010 and was much less exposed to the news at college, BYU. I served a Mormon mission from 2013 to 2015 and missed a lot of the news cycle of Trump during that time too. The only political ideal I really had at the time was duck the two-party system. I felt like Bernie was a great answer and would represent the best interests of the people. Hillary was so ingrained in me as evil, I couldn't see her in a more realistic light. So, since Bernie was out and Trump seemed like less of an ingrained in the system candidate, I fell for the last-minute hype and voted for him. I never said it was logical, just that I regretted it, haha. Edit 2. Some people pointed out I didn't answer what changed my mind. I never really liked Trump as a candidate, so it didn't take much to change my mind. Honestly, I think a lot of people that are responding are being disingenuous and think that Trump hasn't done anything wrong. I don't claim to be an expert, but I feel pretty strongly that Trump is objectively a poor leader, and that should be apparent to everyone by now. For one, he has absolutely bungled the COVID crisis, and his desire to downplay it for political gain is gross. There's the one thing. It wasn't the one that changed my mind, it was probably how much he was golfing from the get-go, or me developing a better sense of empathy and leaving a toxic conservative lifestyle behind that did that, but I think it's good enough to change anybody's mind who isn't Trump or die. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.